Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Force Feed, the show where I keep you up to date on all the most recent gaming news and announcements. Today is Wednesday, December 28th, and we will be discussing the recently made available Gears 3 demo, a drop in Vita sales, how to get a free copy of Twisted Metal Black, the SOTOR subscription model, and then lastly, spending real money on virtual items. Let's just jump into the news. A new Gears of War 3 demo has hit Xbox Live, so if you haven't played the game yet, it's a good time to take a look at it. I personally am a huge fan of demos, and given their release window of the demo, it actually is going to make a lot of sense for them to send out a demo now. I would like to see more companies do this after the initial launch of the game. Sending out a demo a few months later is a good way to rope in players who wouldn't initially purchase the game off of the kind of initial hype of launch. You know, the players who were going to get the game on launch date would get it regardless of whether or not there was a demo made available right away. But after a couple of months if you release a demo like we are seeing Epic Games do here, it's a good way to pick up new customers. So if you haven't yet picked up Gears of War 3 and you'd like to take a look at how it plays, and of course you have an Xbox Live account, and also just a little catch, you actually need a gold Xbox Live membership as well. If you fit that criteria, go ahead and take a look at the demo and decide if you would like to purchase the game. It does look like Vita sales have taken a hit in their second week out, currently behind in sales in comparison to the 3DS and PSP. Now this is likely a result of the relative high price and small catalog of games available for the Vita. As time goes on, the price drops and more games become available. It is likely that sales will pick back up. Now I would like to know if you guys are in the handheld market. Do you purchase handheld games? And if so, have you gotten a Vita yet, or are you waiting for that price drop? Let me know below. The new Twisted Metal for PS3 is scheduled to release on February 14th, and with it you are going to be getting a free downloadable copy of Twisted Metal Black. This is just a nice little incentive to get people excited for the game. If you are a prior fan of the Twisted Metal franchise but never got a chance to play Twisted Metal Black and are looking forward to the upcoming Twisted Metal for PS3, then this is again kind of a great incentive for you, getting a free copy of a prior game. At the moment, I personally don't have a PS3, so I won't get to take a look at that, but I am looking forward to what you guys think of the title. In a recent article over on Joystick, BioWare heads discussed their decision to go with the subscription-based model for the Old Republic. Of course, I am talking about Star Wars The Old Republic, the recently released MMO, and the fact that they are in fact a subscription-based game. You pay for the game initially, and then you pay a monthly fee. Now, with a lot of MMOs of late going for the free-to-play model, having no charge up front, and then having stores in which you can buy items, vanity items, or anything like that, as their way of pulling in revenue, it was brought up to question as to why the Old Republic decided to go for the subscription-based model. In the article, the heads do discuss their idea and the notion that there is still room for subscription-based gaming in the current market, and that they felt like their product was quality enough to be able to actually necessitate such a model. Now, obviously, we look at upcoming exciting games and games we're looking forward to, like Guild Wars 2, which are only a one-time purchase with no monthly fee. That is certainly going to be a contender for the Old Republic, and I am going to be interested to see what they decide to do once that game releases, if they will then pull back to a free-to-play model after the fact. Either way, something else that I would like to know from you guys is the subscription something that's holding you back from playing the Old Republic? Are you just not interested in the game in general? What are your feelings on their decision to go for a monthly fee for Star Wars The Old Republic? And then lastly, I did want to make note of the recent news that an individual has recently spent $16,000 on a virtual sword for a game that is not even out yet. The game is going to be the upcoming MMO called Age of Wulin. This MMO is set in ancient China, and at a recent auction, an individual spent $16,000 on a virtual sword. Again, the game's not even out. Pretty crazy stuff, but this got me thinking. We've got Diablo 3 just around the corner, a game that I will be covering a lot and a game that I'm very excited for. And with this game, the introduction of the real money auction house. The fact that someone is willing to spend 16 grand on an in-game sword leaves me wondering, where does it stop? I mean, that is a crazy amount of money, and it's actually getting me a little bit nervous for the upcoming real money auction house. I mean, if there are actually people willing to spend this, supply and demand, the market is going to drive up prices if this is something that is actually going to happen on a regular basis. Now, clearly, I don't think that that's the case. This is obviously an anomaly. Not everyone is going to spend 16 grand on items, but it's interesting to think that people are actually willing to do that. And this is going to lead me into my question. What are you guys willing to spend on virtual items? Is the amount zero? Are you completely against the idea? Or is there a cap? Would you spend $20, $30, $50, $100. It seems like a slippery slope once you start to get up there. But when it comes to RPG games and purchasing gear for your characters, how much are you willing to spend? Alright guys, that is going to do it for today's episode of the Force Feed. Stay tuned tomorrow for another episode, keeping you up to date on all the most recent gaming news and announcements. Once again, this has been Force, and you've just been force-fed.